So I'm live on both platforms, YouTube and Facebook, because I want both my kids, those who are on YouTube and those who are on Facebook, to get this message. So if you'll be joining me on YouTube, thank you for your support. Thank you for liking, for subscribing, for sharing, and for always watching the ads and my super chatters all the time. You always slap me nicely, and thank you so much. And guys, I truly appreciate. Ngiyakubona Cikizwa noZama. Hi, darlings. And today I want to talk about something that, yeah, most people aren't comfortable to talk about, and I will talk about it because I was once a have-not before I moved to being a have, and I've worked hard for what I have. So I've really, yeah, put my all on things that I've obtained. And today, oh, in fact, yeah, early hours of this morning, I was faced with something that just reminded me about the comforts of having your own money. And guys, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say, guys, on YouTube, if you see me facing that way, I'm watching my Facebook kids. If on Facebook, if you see me facing that way, I'm actually talking to my subscribers on YouTube, and I couldn't put you flat nicely, or on a vertical line, because the lighting is something else, and I want to sit here and have this live. And thank you for liking, guys. As you come in, please double tap the screen and like, and do like on Facebook as well. Siphelele, Noni, Lillian, hi guys. And I won't go through comments as I'm talking so that I don't derail, because I want to get this message across as efficient as possible. But I'll go all over your comments when we are done. And my kids that follows me, I always say ziyamazi umelusi, are my children who understands the importance of working hard, rather the importance of hustling for your own life, and building a legacy. You can't just work hard or work smart, whatever term you choose, and chow everything, and tomorrow you're back to square zero or square minus 20. Then there's definitely something wrong. You should be watching my live. You should be watching other people who will give you nuggets on how to change as such. But those who are here understands that I am passionate about working hard, whichever way, whether you've got your own business, whether you work for umlungu or you work in a family business. But once you've earned your income, your salary, your royalties, if you've written a book or you're an artist, you've got songs, and there's lots. So you've got portraits, arts that you sell in a gallery, and you get proceeds from that. You have to look after your money, guys. The comfort of having your own money is massive. I can't even sit here and explain each and every point, but I've listed some of the things that have given me comfort, that has made me sit in my own corner and think to myself, wow, I've arrived in my own way. Wow, I've made life comfortable for myself and for my children. And I hope you will take this life and do the same for yourself, for your loved ones, and more especially for your kids. I traveled this weekend. I went to Newcastle, KZN, because there was a function at my in-laws. And obviously, guys, when there's a function at home, you ought to contribute, and contributions is money. So if you don't have the comfort of having your own money, you won't be able to contribute, number one. And to get there, it means you have to drive, it's petrol, you have to stop, you have to snack along the way, it is money. You get that side. If you didn't build the house, which we'll talk about it some other times, how do you maneuver building your house at your in-laws, and it's a different topic altogether. You need to find a comfortable space to stay, because you can't walk in ukipabashana. You can't walk in and move a family that stays there, out of the house, out of the bedrooms, because you are already there. the comfort that comes with having your own money. You still go in, you can contribute, you can travel there, you can get there and not annoy everyone else. Ngoba manje, you want a double bed, you want things this way, you list for a certain meal, you expect people to buy it for you. No, when you have your own money, you make other people's lives comfortable, whether you're going to your mother's house or your in-laws house, and you also make your own life comfortable. But I've come up with few pointers that I want us to talk about, and I'll be giving you examples. Yes, I was saying I traveled, we spent money, we traveled, in fact, as a family, we spent money, we came back. Just that I don't like to use the we and bring in my children and my hubby into my content creations. And that's why you always hear me saying I, because this content is about me. We came back, the next thing, early hours, wee hours of the morning, we had a geyser that burst. So guys, those who just joined, I'm live on both Facebook and YouTube. So don't be surprised with how she's live here. Why is she facing that way? The geyser burst. Guys, it was 1 o'clock. Now the ceiling, the water is just dripping in the kitchen, my cupboards, my downlights. It is a mess. We traveled back yesterday, and this happened early hours of this morning. And guys, chances are, if you don't have your own money, what then? Immediately we called our insurance. Insurance is money, and insurances are not cheap. The comfort of having your own money. We called, we told them we've got this issue. I bet you, and I don't normally advertise companies because they don't sponsor my video, but I've always been with the outsurance. And guys, I've always had a peace of mind, and I'm talking for myself. Someone would have had a different experience because we all experience these insurance companies differently. Someone else might say Dial Direct is the best. For me, outsurance, the service, the efficiency, their turnaround time is out of this world. I think it was less than an hour, the plumber came through, switched off, closed things, and we could drain remove the dishes or basins that we had to use. Done. That's it. Shocked. Having your own money. Something as small as that will give you a comfort. And then they told us you have to log a big or full claim because it's a ceiling, it's kitchen cupboards. In the morning, we did that. Excess 4,500 almost. Guys, if you don't have your own money, you'll have to go take a loan. Already when your journey of wealth creation say moshagel, because I talk about always have your emergency funds. I had to tap into my emergency funds. I had to go to Time Bank where I have my goals, which the one states emergency funds, and pay for your excess, because you can have the insurance, but guys, you have insurance, you still have to pay for your excess, and other excess fees are higher than others. Comfort of having your own money, that money was transferred over. And guys, if I tell you that 7:30, the next plumber was here to replace, because the last night one just switched off everything, to replace the pipe and move it and give us hot water. I bathed with hot water today. I had a geyser burst early hours of the morning. So guys, don't let anyone fool you. To be comfortable with the little that you have. Obviously, be grateful that you are breathing, that you have a slice of cake, but you can a piece of bread, but you can have bakeries. And I'll always tell you guys, have more than enough. Push for the next level, but not at your own detriment. But be hungry for a comfort, a life in. And when you have your own money, guys, you've got a peace of mind. When these things happen, of course, you're like, oh, we just spent so much money traveling, putting a function together, contributing Nati as part of a family towards the function, and. But when you have your money put away, those pet peeves when I always say monies, and I just love it. When you have money put away, You don't have to be loaning mashonisa or staying now until the whole ceiling it falls and hits someone, a person ends up in hospital. Guys, you have a peace of mind. You have security. You can choose where to stay. Yes, this country, yes, disappointer in terms of safety, but you can choose a neighborhood where you can have cameras. You can even, now the technology, you can have your camera on your phone while traveling. You can see what's going on around your yard, in your house. You can have a security company with the guard house. That's my dream one day, because when I go away and I leave my daughter behind, I want to hire for one night and feel great about it. And they will deliver that guard house. In fact, one time I said I want us to camp outside the house and hire a security company for a night and find out what's their night rate. And bese, but deliver the guard house, the guy sits there, they put the toilets, and they comforts, and they look after you. Comforts of having your own money. You can have the best or the better security system. It doesn't have to be top of the of the range, but you can have it top of the range if you work hard towards that. So the peace, the security, the company, you can choose nothando, what love, relationships you wanna be in. You don't keep people because you're benefiting financially from them. Even when they treat you somehow, they make you their ice boy. No. Comforts of having your money. You choose who you bring closer to you and whom you say, no, you know what? We don't vibrate on the same level. Even with your relationships, abantwana bami bamantombazane, you don't go for someone, guys, ongekho level yakho. You know, class le okuyo at least. Yes, love has no boundaries, love has no color. But really, guys, when you go for someone whom you will be contributing all the time, you know the comforts of having your own money, but they don't understand it or they don't have it. How are you even going to work around that? There'll be problems. They say a large amount of divorces are because of our financials. We can say, hi, maybe it was something else. Money plays a huge role in relationships and so in marriages as well. So I want us to talk ngama comforts and have your money. You choose ujola nobani monemali. You don't settle with someone just because, oh shame, as a single parent he buys meal for my kids. No, when you have your own money, or you are able to say, sorry, I cannot be with you because we are not aligned, because your beliefs are against my beliefs, and you walk away. Awuhlaleli izinto ezingasuwe ezi-against ukholo lwakho nebelief yakho nobuwena ngendaba yemali yomunye umuntu. Build your own treasure. Work hard and have your own money. Chow your money, but put away a bigger chunk than the one that you chow, so that you have a comfortable life. You have emergency funds waiting for you when you need it. And I also wanted to cover the fact that, you know what, guys, when you have your own money and you have an accident, like we had a Giza, if it's a car accident, even if your insurance doesn't cover that, because when you cover a lot of things, that insurance, the premium ends up costing you a fortune. Even if your premium or your insurance doesn't cover, they'll give you an extra car, or what do they call it? There's a word for it, more especially if you take your car for a service, and courtesy car. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. When you have your own money, you can hire a car and still show up at work and continue building your wealth. You can still show up kuma lectures which you need to go for, to your business meetings, because you have your own money. You can Uber. There's days of late where I'm like, I recall the first time which was now recent, by the way. I thought to myself, I've Ubered so many times, but I've never used the Uber Black. And I was in Sentence City. I said, you know what? Today is the day. And I like those things where I say, but I've never tried this because I'm big on experiences and you guys know me. Like, I've never tried the Uber Black my whole life. My child loves the Uber Black. Mina, I've never. And I call the Uber Black. When you have your own money, you are able to say, yes, Uber Black, in this situation, yes, blesser, and I'm just putting myself in a right space because things are falling apart. But you can only do that when you have your own zaga, your own mula. When you unekinopo lakho, unamachankura wako, you can't do it without it. And I thought about that. Even when there's an issue, let's talk about what happened in Midrand. And I feel sorry, guys, for those people. And I hope they're picking up pieces and rebuilding. People were left homeless when that building burned. I think it was a Sunday evening or Sunday night. But when you have your own money, luckily, apparently the owner put them in a hotel for one night. But even if the owner doesn't do that in your case, where you flooded, like how I was once in that situation, or there's a fire, guys, when you have your own money, you can book an Airbnb, you can book a hotel, you can book a space, you put your kids there while you figure out. Because when things like this, when accidents, unexpected happens, you lose it, and you need a space and the time to sort of sit and say, okay, where to from here? Having your own money will allow you to go and book a space when your house is in a mess, when your house is flooded. You don't need to stay in an unsafe space because that's the only thing you have. So these are some of the options. One day I was even listening to the ladies debating about, I had my child in a private hospital, I had mine in a private hospital. And guys, the points that these different women were bringing across, the difference between the two hospitals, we can sit here and say, Oksalayo, you come out with your child alive and healthy. Yes, if you get the right treatment, the right doctors, you will come out. Nathi satholwa mina ngwaseBaragwana Hospital, which is now called Krisani. And here I am, alive and kicking with no issues. But guys, when the ladies from private hospitals started explaining how they had to be bathed, and that's the journey I also walked, and I sat there, read these comments, and I was just smiling. It took me back. And I said, okay, I've never been in a public hospital. Let me hear what these ladies have to say. And guys, it was few people who said, thanks to the staff of a public hospital, so and so, they did take good care of me. Most of them were sharing the trauma of how they had, with stitches that were still new, had to walk and take a cold shower. Guys, when you don't have your own money, you will take a cold shower. When you have your money, you can choose whether cold shower is okay for you. You don't need to go to a private hospital. You have options. Money gives you security, peace of mind, options, your time. You can decide what to do with your time. There's so much that comes with having your own money. And we're not going to sit here and fool one another and say the options are the same. No, they're completely different. Even a person who's booked in a private hospital, who's not in a private room, is not treated like a person who's got access in a private room, because there now we're talking business class, we're talking first class, whereas private hospital could be a business class when we talk about traveling. So always, as you work hard, as you budget, as you think about your future, as you pay and invest, also think. Hi, Monsila. I see you, sweetheart. I see you. And thanks for those who've liked on YouTube. Thank you so much. Always build a comfort around your life, guys. And the horror stories that were shared by the ladies, if you've been and you've got your own story, you most probably sitting there and say, Ma ungangitsheli, I know. And I'm not saying every woman who gave birth in a public hospital has a horror story. But guys, you can't give up ukuyogezwa. Bekagezwa nami self before giving birth and after giving birth. Ngayofakwa ebhavini, willed, where I could still just, the minute I stood up, mind you, I wasn't even operated. I gave normal labor. But I was treated as though yilabo sisi bamastishi abanyathela kancane. Mina-ke, thank God, I was very young when I gave birth, so I was very active afterwards. I sometimes even forgot ukuthi I had given birth. That's how healthy I was, and thank God for that. But the comfort that came with that, where your child is kept afterwards, the feedback that you get every now and then regarding your child's progress and your progress can never be matched. And I came across, I think Owami interviewed a lady. I haven't listened to that interview. I was just going on YouTube, and this lady, I think it could be a latest video. Owami. The lady is sitting like this and saying, and the caption is, I was misdiagnosed. Guys, when you don't have your own money, even your illness might be discovered very late in life. When you don't have your own money, you could be misdiagnosed and doctors will operate on you. Because where does the money for second opinion, third opinion come from? How many times have I encouraged you, Uguti, when a doctor tells you, Uguti, when you must go and remove your womb or you must remove this part of your teeth? Don't just say, okay, I'll book in next week, and now you're busy filling the forms. Whether you're going to a private hospital, whether it's a doctor that you met in a private hospital. Yes, if it's urgent, remain in hospital and ask the doctor within that hospital to also check and isolate it. Angifuni ukusho ukuthi bangareferani ngoba nabo. And a different independent, like we say, an independent certified financial advisor with a certificate. Get an independent doctor to assess you, check and tell you, yes, you do need to go through this major operation. But when you don't have the money for the second option or opinion or third opinion, you will go with the first doctor that says this and that is wrong with you, and you'll be shocked. I use myself as an example. I struggled a lot. It has subsided, thank God for that, with the facial pain. Guys, if I showed you, because I'm that person, nami la ziyashaya, I don't just believe the one story that the doctor tells me. Maybe ngoba I hardly visit them and I've got my thing. They are, industry of making money. There's nothing wrong. We all are trying to make money out here so that they can live this comfortable life that we're talking about. I went to the first doctor. The first, even with my eye operation, I told you I had a major one. And the first doctor that I went to, I'll use that first, had said he'll operate me on Saturday. I had gone on Tuesday. And I said, no ways. What I'm seeing with this eye is abnormal. I went straight to I spoke to a lady at work coming from that appointment. I said, this guy says he'll operate me on Tuesday, but I want another opinion because I'm an opinion person. I've got the money. Why not? I work. It wasn't overflowing at the time, but I had it. So what's the point of putting it away and risking my whole life or my vision, which you can never get back? And the lady said, Oh, I've got my eye doctor, but her eye issue is completely different. Garden City. I had never been to that hospital. I had heard Itori, which I won't even talk about. And I said, let me go see the doctor. Very same Tuesday, 1 o'clock. I just told my boss, go to Yazi, we'll talk when I'm back. Went to the second doctor. The second doctor, I said, I just came back from Dr. So and so, who said it's this and this, and he'll operate on Tuesday. And this doctor said, I'm shocked because that's my student, and your condition cannot wait for Saturday. And this Garden City doctor, a colleague's doctor, Yamehlo, wakhe, said, I'm sending you to the a guy, Dr. Kruger in Northcliffe, where people travel from abroad with similar conditions, because guys' eyes have so many layers and stories. So mine, you're going to see him today. He's a specialist of specialists. You might have to pay a fortune. I said, right now, if it means selling my husband, it's okay. I went there, and guys, I got me a good Dr. Kruger. That night, it was 6 o'clock. There was no one left. He waited for me. He checked me and said, tomorrow, 5:30, you are at my eye hospital operation. I said, doctor, the first doctor, remember, this now is my third opinion. The first doctor said Saturday, he said, you would have gone blind. You would have gone blind. I was operated the next day. The comfort of having your own money. When you don't have your own money, you don't have, let's not even talk about medical aid. Obviously, when you have your own money, you have access to medical aid as well. Yes, other people, when they are employed, it's a benefit that comes with company, which helps you and all that. But guys, you can have your medical aid even if you are self-employed, even if you work for not as like a corporate company or big companies. Some people are diagnosed later, when a certain illness is already on stage 4, when we talk my cancer terms. Because when you just think of going to a public hospital and you think I must be up at 4, and already you are not feeling well, you keep on postponing, guys. Comfort of having your own money can even save your life. I'm not saying there's people who are not misdiagnosed. There's people who most probably go for second opinions and still get misdiagnosed. But when you go for more opinions, with my facial pains, I went to so many specialists. The first doctor said it's a toothache. And every time I go to my dentist, she'll tell me how strong my teeth are. Even now, that's why she insists, no, you must come, let's do something and straighten them, which is something I'm not fascinated about. People have always known me like this. I've always known myself like this. So now the adjustment of seeing myself differently, it's something that I have to deal with. But when I went to the second doctor, the other one, the first one said toothache, come, let's extract. I said, no ways. Before I extract, guys, extracting isn't a snip up and place, because your teeth makes who you are. Uyaboqoka when you don't have. And you don't want to be putting faults when you could have prevented removing your tooth. So don't take it easy for granted, hang your keep, unless your tooth is badly damaged. Now, no, don't just a piece, I'm going to remove. Your tooth plays an important role with facial structure sakho. Every piece that God created on you is important. I went for the second opinion because of the comfort of having money. And that doctor looked at me and said, it sounds like in neuralgia. I said, but doctor, the other doctor said, I must extract. Said, I've done so many x-rays. I've looked at you. He even referred to his senior. That senior said, yo, aba strong, amazing. I'm actually shocked. And he came back and said, there's absolutely nothing wrong. Your case is the nerve that's chowing you like that. Try germinal neuralgia was my condition. Up until today, I know ukuthi it has nothing to do with the toothache. Ikushaya ngathi izinyo elinomgodi ekuloku kushaya nge-aircon. So, but when you have a comfort of your money, you'll be saved. You'll be healed. You know, my daughter always says to me, "Unconco, yo ma, some illnesses, and I believe most of them, you ought to have money. Like njengeshukela ukuba diabetic. Imagine being diabetic and you don't have enough. Because that chronic illness comes with a certain lifestyle. The kinds of food that you ought to eat. You're not allowed to touch this. Avoid this. Don't eat this. You make it worse. And if you don't have your own money, guys, how do you make sure, Gucci, you live longer? And guys, we're not guaranteed. But when you have options, it's different. In terms of chronic illnesses, you're just being discharged with a family member, your child, someone who's close to you. They need home-based care. How much when was the last time you checked the home-based care? When you don't have your own money, what do you then do? You need a helper to bath. In fact, home-based care nurses can bath you, can dress your wound in a case of a wound infection, more especially if you're diabetic, and the plaster or dressing must be done continuously. We're not gonna lie to each other and say, it's okay. Guys, asebenzeni. And if you are already in the fields and planting and plowing and really working hard, make sure you enjoy that comfort. Make sure you put away for that comfort. I went as far as you fall pregnant. And majority, they say how many percentage? Over 50%, close to 60% of South African children are raised without their biological father. You know what that means, guys? 63 or something, but it's a shocking figure. I stand to be corrected. You fall pregnant, that one disappeared like the others who disappeared. When you have your own man, okay, you were fooled, drunken by love or whatever, what was going on, I have no idea. But if it was by choice, hallelujah to you. If you chose, good, now I'm ready for the child. If he leaves, it's okay. It's because you're comfortable, you have your own money. You can even hire a doula. You hire a doula to go with you kuma checkups. There's doulas. Do you guys even know what the doula is? Some of y'all, we've spoken about a doula 2 years ago. Who comes with you for checkups? You don't go and sit alone and watch other couples coupling, and when now all of a sudden you are a single parent. You know what kind of a trauma comes with that? A doula can never replace a father of the child, but will give you the comfort that we are talking about. The peace of mind. You have someone to speak to run what the doctor has said and bounce off ideas, or just to hold your hand, for heaven's sake, guys. A doula can be there when giving birth. I've only seen female doulas. Maybe there's a male doula, and there's people who won't mind giving birth to someone who's male and is not a father. Yes, it's a taboo in South Africa, but guys, we are not the same. These people are open-minded as long as they have someone to support them. But when you don't have your money, how do you hire a doula to be with you during a pregnancy where your man left you? When your man decided to walk away? Comfort of having your own money. Guys, I can go on, and I hope you can also drop your comments. I see Facebook is busy, YouTube. Oh, thank you for your likes, guys. They match so well. Thank you, Lapogo YouTube. Please do share the live, guys. I beg you to share the live on Facebook. And drop your comments both on YouTube and Facebook and say, what did money, how did it assist you? How did it change your life? Because it changes our lives differently. Like in times of illnesses, it's a huge thing when you have your own money, how it can come through. Maybe as a book at the hotels, hiring a car can be regarded as minor for others. For me, it's just as big. Having a doula when your man has walked away, for me, it's a big thing. You can't walk going for those appointments soul alone. Soul alone, guys, unless you've got friends who are always there with you, unless you've got a family member who will walk that journey with you. You're dealing with the trauma of your rejection. Now you feel even more rejected when you walk in that a gynae's room and people have abantu babo. Whether family members or parents, go with your parents. But those who no longer have parents, go get a doula. Don't wait on cousins who will have stories or are too busy creating wealth so that they can have the comfort of having their own money so they can accompany you. Traveling. I'm a traveler. You can even see the comfort of having your money while traveling. You book a shuttle to take you to the airport. You book a much comfortable seat. Even if you are in economy, you can book a much comfortable seat with extra leg room. You book a business class when you have the real money. You book first class when you are balling in money and you want to spend it that way. Even where you sit at the airport while others are sitting kuma slow lounge. Priority boarding. It's money. You shouting there, hey, we are Sforza. Hey, sorry, I was here first. Why are they checking your boarding pass before mine? Darling, priority boarding. Comfort of having your own money. This person paid for priority boarding. Tina says, one day is one day. Do you know that when you are turning right in a plane, someone is turning left to go into a business class, to go into the first class? Comforts of having your own money. When you get to the airport, someone is already waiting for you. I will struggle, end up being scammed, because that's one of the biggest scams that can put you off traveling. When you priority boarding checking, I'm still gonna read the comments, and you there, hey, shouting, no, this is unfair. Yeah, because I'm black. Guys, it's nothing to do. It is money talks. Business class, while we queuing in those long queues. Hayi mesiko business class siyazi. Unozwayo kwateka ukuthi ngithi I've traveled on business class. That's why, ma, without me, it's child, you're still growing, you'll get there. When you you want to be like your mother, and you can't be like your mother. I worked, so I'm enjoying my comfort. And those are some of the things. And guys, quality of clothing as well. Quality of clothing. When you have your own money, and let's say you've got eczema, and you know what eczema does, it gets aggravated when you put wool on. You go for your Egyptian cottons. You go for 100% cotton that breathes. You go for the linen that won't aggravate or escalate eczema yakho. Even the clothes that you choose will be different. Even if you decide to go to Ackermans, it's by choice, not because you have to. Not because you have to. Especially, guys, if you are not well and you have to do things a certain way and you end up living like people who are okay, it becomes a problem because it exacerbates your illness. And yeah, and also when we buy these reasonable, you find clothes, you find good after one wash, it's gone. And yet when you go for quality, you go for the proper stuff, even if it has nothing to do with your skin that gets irritated. Where's so gay? You definitely need to go for the real thing. It will take you for a number of years. Guys, quality of food. If you look at people who are wealthy, they watch what they eat. They watch what they eat. Their fitness is priority. And you pay for these things. Yes, we can run around the block, But at what cost at this day and age, and in an environment and community that we stay in? They will pay for each gym session. They will run around the block because they are in an estate. It's much safer. Comforts of having your own money. Comforts of having your own money. Your health comes first. Your mental health. They book these. Yes, you can do your yogas. They do their yogas. But when I was in Bali, guys, and I went specifically to Ubud for a yoga session, and guys, I don't want to go into detail about yoga in my religion, but see, I was booked next to the yoga retreat space, so people travel to come to this. It's the each of yoga Ubud, and that's what took me there. So when I checked the options, guys, I'm sorry, I couldn't go. I just couldn't. It's not your. It's the hectic of bow. You know the one where they go bow drum, and you all go in a certain way. I saw people. I was like, for me. That was some cult, and it's not, guys, it's yoga, but it just was higher grade. I couldn't wrap my head around how next level yoga this was. And I traveled there to go for this thing, but when I looked at the sessions, I was like, yo, what if I come out and for me, it was more like being hypnotized, if you get me, type of a thing. But now, with me and myself and growing up and working on my mind, I want to take my money and go do those and those yoga sessions. People who've made it make sure with their mental state is intact. They go for these yoga things. They go for where they light these things. And guys, if you don't believe in them, I saw them on the Real Housewife of Devon. I can't. What do they call them? I just forgot the name. Where this lady comes and it helps them here. There's many things you can do. I once attended a class years ago because Nkosi yami yini engingayexperimentanga nje, so a laughing class. Google and say laughing class. And it's like a aerobic class. It's exactly like a Pilates class. There's a laughing class, and I went to a laughing class so that I can extend the number of years, because we always believe good. You sort of heal your inner self, and I attended the class. And didn't I laugh for an hour? And with laughter, when the lecturer started, and guys, it's gonna sound offish because some people don't believe in some of the things that I believe in. I'm open-minded, and yeah, I've tasted different types, and I was more in this type of life than maybe in a rural space or in Kasi. I think I stayed for like 3 years. I was still very young. So the facilitator said to us, your brain and your inner being doesn't have to have the real reason for you to laugh. When you are just laughing, just laugh, you are extending in life. You are injecting health. You are releasing those whatever cortisones, whatever zones they call them, and thus giving yourself more life, less stress, less trauma, less depression. And I was laughing. Guys, when I say at nothingness, and laughter is contagious. As ladies, and it's mostly ladies, I don't think men believe in such craziness, but there are men who are awesome and hot and amazing like that. As the ladies were laughing, you just laugh as well. You laugh. I laughed, guys, until I could feel it here. When was the last time you laughed until you could feel it here? Here, it was paining. As I left the class, comforts of having your own money. You can book all these things where people will frown at them on them and say, all right, Sekanda. If they bring you health and you feel, yeah, I've worked and I'm doing them, go for them. As I left, I was like, you know what? If I was gonna die at 50, I think I've extended 5 more years. Now I'm going to kick the bucket at 55. That's how I felt. Comforts of having your own money. I can go on and on, guys, because yeah, I've tried out things. Mina nje I'm a mudora, kahle kahle the explorer. We spoke about the quality of foods and all that. Okay, I'll close it. And guys, when it comes to children, let's talk about comforts of having money. Guys, you are able to give your kids the best of the best. Yes, you'll be criticized. You're spoiling them when you choose a certain school, or all schools are the same, or so you're all gonna end up in the public university. You know, when they comfort themselves, those guys that are sour grapes. Anyway, they're all gonna end up in a public university. So what's the point of a private school? Take your kids there. And I want to make an example, guys. You can choose because you've got comforts of having your own money. And guys, those kids don't come out the same. They don't. I always say, like with the public and a private hospital discussion, can someone who's tried them both tell us the differences? Then I'm able to listen. Not law who's angry, Gucci, they've never tasted the other side of the world. Now they wanna fight. It's the same. Okusalaya abantwana bethu nabo bayaphila. At what treatment? I wanna hear from someone who's tested the public and the private, who can do a proper and honest comparison, because that person will never be biased and it's their experience. Remember, all this is our experiences. So when you choose a public school for your kids, there's a lady who said, my child is in a public school and I pay about grade 1 about 65,000 per annum. Public, but we know which publics are those, right? That is more or less like a private. And guys, I believe in education. I won't even listen to you. It's like my religion. I chose what I chose. If it will send me somewhere else other than heaven, it's okay. It's my choice. I don't debate when it comes to investing education. And those kids will not be the same. You can even take a child who's struggling to understand concepts, and people refer to them as a slow learner. When you give them a private, the personalized treatment and attention, the one-on-one, the child won't come out the same as someone who's dumped amongst 25 children. And this is not being a classist or comparing. I'm saying to you, if you can, guys, it's different if life is so tough. Oh, guys, I don't even want to say that. You can come out of that situation. You can. You can turn the leaf. You can turn the page. Asithi-ke kunzima, that is different. But try saying, can I try this comfortable life? Can I take my child to a private school and see what the difference will be? You'll be shocked. The child comes out well oiled in so many ways. The way of thinking. They won't fight Usisi says opinion ngenhlamba unnecessarily so, because they know ukuthi you've got the right to your own, and how the learning is put out there respects you've got the right to your opinion. We don't need to be each other, analyzing each other because we don't have the same opinions. You know, I worked with one of my sisters, and she used to come alive. Very young lady, brilliant. I mean, they come to cooperate with their degrees, and in fact, yeah, in most cases, honors and masters. And I was privileged enough to actually be that big sister. There's a lot they will come and chat to me about. And one day, this young sister of mine said to me, but Oswaka, why do you believe so much in education? Like, why do you invest so much money with education yabantwana bakho? Then I told her, I said, sis, and I showed her some of the things that are taught there, the system, the how they assist umntwana, children, and give them the attention that you won't just find anywhere. And she would look at me, yo, Oswaka, so much money that you really investing. And we will talk numbers. Leana, if she wanted to bounce something regarding big numbers, I remember, oh, let's not jump the gun. And then she fell pregnant. And she said, I've learned one thing from you. The respect you have in education. And I want to give that to my son. I said, be my guest and you won't regret it. But she was still not sold, you know. And I recall when she did a list, the things that she'll need, go Excel spreadsheet, and she was like that. And she came, and I think she needed about 80,000 rands, crazy amount, just the first 3 months after giving birth. I looked at this list. I said, how did you get to 83? And guys, she accounted for everything. Comforts of having your own money. And these prem edithi ezabo Casper akusezabo Casper kuphela nabo osisi bethu bayazisebenzisa zabo prem at that time it was like 25,000 that goes with the car seat, and then she had a branded dummy abana. There were names. Oh, my child, oh, Joyce, I'll have a bin when you put a pampas until the next day, it doesn't smell. And that bin was quoted a crazy amount. I went through the spreadsheet. And now I realize how expensive children are. I said, yes, children are very expensive. But in your case, I feel as though you made it worse. Why? You can get a prem, an entry-level prem or car seat, and about that carry the child is like flying, boss, when they push them, when you find them, go the Mandela Square. I look at them, I still can identify those prems, by the way, because of these younger sisters of mine that exposed me. I mean, I had mine when I could choose any prem, and my mom will take my baby for a walk every day without fail at a certain time, because my mom was a domestic worker. If you don't get domestic workers, things are done in a certain way and in a certain form. So she wasn't gonna carry this child. I needed to get a pram. Oh, that mother of mine. And I said, yo. So guys, the comfort of having your own money. I just said with my sister, my little sister, I said, maybe you can cut down. Yes, if prem or cassette is more important, cut down a bit on that career thing, baby carer or whatever you call it, and cut down maybe on the beeps. Do they have to be written proudly South Africans, guys, because you are proudly South African, honestly, and you pay an extra 300 rands for the branding. So those were the discussions we had, but that's a comfort of having your own money. And when her son started in preschool, she took the child to Montessori, and she would come to me and rave about, look what he's currently doing. Saw the videos, live videos, and only then she started understanding why I was so fascinated and fixated the idea yokuthi I will pay an extra money for certain things. And guys, the rest is history. From there, they'll even show her when the child is now able to move the fingers and identify colors through a video. When the child is sleeping, she gets guys, with your kids. We love our malumes. They are the best. Even that is comfort of having your own money, because someone else's child takes a public transport and they don't even know how the child got to school. They get to work, they wonder if the child made it safe at school. But comfort of your own money, you put them in those get out of my car, driven alone with an aircon. You are updated, got that software that they give you as a parent to say your child has arrived at school. They give the child refreshments when they fetch them, a snack, and guys, cover. There's a lot, guys, we can talk about. The gifts that you give your children when you have your own money. It's just not toys only. You give your kids gifts such as the gold coins, the bitcoins. Every time, kitty birthdays, you give gifts to set them up for their future. You give them the tax-free, yeah, accounts, and you start investing for them in unit trusts. The list is endless. Comfort of, they don't start their lives with study loans. No, they don't start go minus 500,000, minus 200,000, even minus 50,000 can set you back when you are just starting out in life. But when your parents has worked and understood the comforts of building a wealth and the comfort of making sure they live comfortably, so while looking and caring for you, guys, nothing beats that. While others say, we're throwing a 21st and you inviting the world, as half of those people will even criticize the food didn't have enough seasoning. People go and choose first car for their kids. People go and book driving lessons for their kids. Comforts of having your own money. People go and do what? Buy a first property. You're already putting your child into property investment and there's no turning back. Guys, once your children taste ubumnandi, there's no turning back. That's why, yes, you find a doctor's kids or pastor's kids or lawyer's kids, again, they end up abusing substances. But what I've seen, majority, it is doctors in that home. Even those children are educated, they are lawyers, they are engineers, they are this, they are that, because you don't want to go back. Guys, you don't put your children, even if you didn't get a comfortable life, make them taste a comfortable life. Ngeke babuyela. Mina owami ukutshela kahle athi hayi ngabane ngalali. Emuva, forward we go, backwards never. Because now you've set the standard when, as a parent, not a sugar daddy who will come in their lives and set a standard, or a sugar mommy who will maintain your child. No. Comfort of having your own money. Guys, I can go on and on. You even support their hobbies. You don't force your kids to start working early like some of us, Mwaje, I was still a teenager. I worked for almost 3 decades. But with mine, I say, if you want to do arts, go. I said to my child, you love studying. Study until you get tired. I'll pay for those varsity fees. Comfort of having your own money. If a child loves swimming, one guy said, I invest in property so that my son can focus on swimming. While I just cash those rental income. I don't want him to be, hey, you have to be a teacher so that you support all of us, so that you buy the family a house, so that you send your siblings to schools. Did you give birth for the poor child to be a parent other than you? We need to send our own kids to schools. But comfort of having your own money, guys, you allow your kids to be. You let them excel. When they have a talent, you follow through kuleyo talent. If drawing, if babo Rasta of tomorrow, let them be Rastas. and draw the skew faces just to get the attention of everyone, and then come with the best portrait when the whole of South Africa has realized ukuthi hi bara, this man can draw udlala ngathi boss. It's his form of marketing, or he can't draw, or he can draw. Only him knows what his strategy is. But comfort of having your own money allows your kids to be. You yourself didn't become a doctor, but uzoba a doctor. Why didn't you become a doctor if it was that simple? So I thought I'll just touch on that in terms of kids, and yeah, there's lots. I've said, thank God I have my own money. Thank God I'm able to remedy the situation in no time. And you can only do that when you've worked, and I've worked for years, when you understand the formula. But it takes discipline, it takes perseverance, it takes research to choose the right investment products. You don't just, I say I invest a pen, but that money won't work for you tomorrow. So these are the few points. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot. I look at people when they live a life a certain way, and I think to myself, comfort of having your own money. Comfort. And I smile at them because I know that life. I choose it, but theirs might be on another level. You know, while you flying in first class and thinking, oh, I've got it all, someone is flying in a private jet. So there's always better than the better that you always have, you already have. So no need to be sour, no need to be envious, no to be jelly. Oh, that's got jelly, got jealous. Just create your own comfort. And then comfort here will be totally different from Veronica's comfort to Siswa, because her interests and likes and things that moves her and fulfills her are different from mine. But the ones that matters to me, like number one, education, oh boy. If I could, I most probably would have sent my child to one of those expensive schools in Switzerland where they say it's like what I was sharing the quotes, crazy amount per annum, and there's other things that they teach kids other than the syllabus. They come out well oiled. There was one way you even led, I think Uvusite Megwayo had access to it. I stand to be corrected. You even learn how to run your business. You come out having gone through the process of starting a business, marketing a business, and finances, what to look for, about financials, and promoting it until it's a fully fledged business, from in order to take off to now sesilapha sesibukela movie eplayed. So I come here not to say we're classing here. So what are you saying about those who are in informal settlement when you talk about a safe neighborhood with high walls and electricity fence? I'm saying to you, most of those people, or some of the people, let me rather say that because I don't have stats, they were once in informal settlements, believe it or not. So you choose. Sometimes you can choose all you want. You can push all you want if that's not where God wants you to be. But surely there's something, or there's some way where He wants you to be. Yabole, this narrative, you could say, we can't all be educated. We can't all have drive Lamborghinis. Can't all have businesses. Can't all be married. Why are you choosing yourself to be the ones who don't have these things? Why are you always excluding yourself before these things exclude you? Yes, ngiyamlalela nje umuntu thina live our lives. Hi phela, we can't all fly business class. Some of us must take taxis. Why are you choosing that when others are not choosing that for themselves? Even those who are in taxis, they will tell you, Gucci, this is for this period. That's where I see myself, not in this taxi forever, but whether you've blessed yourself, you've baptized yourself, hey, Kosia, you've ordained yourself even that you won't get married, you won't be rich, you won't have a business, you won't be educated. Not everyone. And when you put yourself, Google a group of people who can't have these things. For the what? For the who? Bidageg. Even those that I don't have, I'm going to have them. You know, when I had a Giza saga in closing off, in fact, let me close off by saying, money, try, guys, I can't read my own handwriting. I can't read. Oh, money drives you to care for yourself, for your fitness, for your health, what you eat, for your mental wellness. And I promise you, when you have money, you don't want to die because you don't want to leave your money behind. And I guess that's why these guys and the ladies, make it to guys, I mean everyone who's wealthy, you watch what they have for breakfast. Look at them going to the gym almost every day without fail before our meetings. Adrian didn't only build our gym lab, which we all had to be fit. He also ran 10 kilometers every morning without fail. Kule area yake. Came in, still stayed na go gym because he was probably thought, after building all this legacy, am I gonna die now and leave all this? I need to be fit. Once you have the money, you fight. You fight, guys. So this is to motivate you to fight. This is to inspire you. No matter the situation now, don't give up. Don't say this is it. Look at those who've done it and say, I'll get there. And speak to them. Listen to them. Ask them, guys. Ask them. Be curious. Check. The information is there. Go there now. So was at least half of the things. Pay for the information if you don't have is cut. I've got kids that I do research on their behalf. I'm meeting one tomorrow at 8. Otema, I don't have the time, but I know you'll research for me. Let's meet at 8. I need to say goodbye to you and finalize the research that I have done for her. And when I meet with her, I can tell you, I said to her, we're going to sit on this, and 10 years down the line, you're going to phone me, even if I'll be eBrazil kusam ocean, and tell me how things are happening. But you ought to be hungry. No one can push you out of ishek. Sibuya shek nat. No one can push you out of a neighborhood that is infested with a substance. Ukosa wenu shuti. Why can't I be different from these kids? Why can't I walk away from my own neighborhood? Because I might end up mhlalelu utshwala. No one can push you out of ukuthengisa ngomzimba wakho. You ought to say, even if you did sell kwanele, can I own my space? Can I claim who I am and take it from there? What did I want to share? Oh, while I was, and then I'll read the comments quickly and we say goodbye, guys. It's over an hour. While I was we were waiting for a plum in wee hours of the morning. Gibega TikTok, guys. Yo, it broke my heart. I came across this elderly lady pushing some digital marketing tontoni, an old lady over 60. Guys, that time it was, in fact, the plumber had been gone. I was busy paying debts and settling, agreeing on some venue. I was at work. This lady must be over 60. Buy this package, and the comments are saying, Gogo, fanele ngabulele. Udli pension yakho kusebusuku. My heart bled. Guys, again, there's two things. Once a business person, always a business person. Kodwa, you can't tell me an over 60 lady with kids and grandchildren would be live on TikTok with, yeah, I know, two people viewing, watching you like me, la 9, Gapa 34. It doesn't matter. The message is what is important. That one soul that will listen and say thank you, ma, is the most important soul than everyone else, than the whole world. Akufuna ukungena ebhayibhelini bekulahlekele yave yodwa ukuthi kwenzakalani kuyisabatha. Let's leave that alone. But to see an old lady around 4 o'clock in the morning pushing a digital marketing, yo, guys, work. Hey, yazi bekuthiwa mfuna uJesu esenokutholwa. Mbiza saseseduze. Work while you still have the strength. It breaks my heart. If it's by choice, then it's okay. But if that woman has to do it because there's grandchildren, the kids are no more. Yeah. Or when the ones who were before me sat like this and shared nuggets, how to do with, how to work around the system, why they make you consume everything, why they make you depend on everything and think you can't survive without bread. It's money making business. Think of your future. Bese iyafika le future. Ikuthole ungena next, you'll be up 5 o'clock a.m. at age 65, 68, 70, trying to make money. I hope it doesn't find you. But it's all about choices. You can sit here, all 50 of y'all, all 60 of y'all, only 2 will put this into action and live the comfort and enjoy the comfort of having their own money by investing, by doing the right thing. And the rest, but hey, wash. We thought 70 was not going to find us, we'll be long dead. And here we are. We've squandered our monies like a prodigal son. No, benidle yeni naye kababeni. Ulirato kungene ubonisile sweetie Bali. Hello, Baba. Hi, sweetheart Zen. I see you. Thanks for joining, sweetie pie. Ulirato, oh, what a powerful life. God bless you. Thank you, Lirato. May the Almighty God continue to bless you too, sweetie. Akwenze kahle, and may He make sure ukuthi you get everything that your heart desires as long as it won't separate you from Him. Wow, this is so powerful, Baba. Onendlebe uzozwa. Thank you, Zen, and goodness. Uzodwa uthi nje hearts and amen, amen, amen. Guys, thanks for liking, thanks for joining. Let me come to Facebook ngizwe ukuthi that was it, guys. I love you. I'm gonna close YouTube because I don't want this to run for too long. God bless and continue shining, continue enjoying the life that you came on this earth for. Don't let anyone rob you. And Umtanami likes to add, Auntie, if you really, really want to be wealthy, and I'm sorry to say, sometimes you have to be selfish. Hey, when you give and give families and next, and I agree with her. I was also once a giver, but I always encourage give, but use your brain and always fill your cup first before you fill. Because guys, if you are just a giver, you'll be left with nothing. And God bless.